What's going on, my friends? Sean Pierce Johnson here today with a little review of the Optima Gold Brian May signature guitar strings. You know, Optima Strings have a bit of a reputation in the musical instrument industry. They've been around for decades and have been used by guys like Brian May, Frank Zappa. They have a wide pedigree and roster of musicians that have used these strings to amplify their musical voice. Now, the theory with these gold strings is that because gold is a little bit better of a conductor of electricity than, say, your standard nickel steel, that they should have a better tone. Better being a very subjective term here. But when I bumped into these guys at the LA Guitar Show a few months back, I knew I had to give these strings a try. I had always been interested since I first got introduced to them back, say, 3 years ago or so. And hey, we're gonna try it out. So before I change the strings on this guitar, which is my EVH Wolfgang Special, which is hardtail, flat top, Wolfgang humbuckers in the bridge and the neck, and I have just the standard pink package Ernie Ball slinkies on there. So we're gonna run through some clean tones and some dirty tones. We're also gonna go direct. Now the interesting thing is I'm going to run Wave's PAS frequency spectrum analyzer so that we'll be able to see where things are on the sound spectrum and see whether or not the Optima Gold strings actually make a real difference to the overall sound. So enough of my yakking, it's time to start playing. Cool, now let's unplug from the amp and then go direct into my PreSonus Studio 192. This is just a standard, straight, very clean mic preamp. Awesome. So those are the tones of the Ernie Ball Slinkies, which I'm very familiar with. It's something that I've used for years. It's a brand that I've used for years. It's a tone that I've been used to for years. So now it's time to change over to the Optima Gold Brian May strings and see what kind of difference they can make for this guitar. I'm really excited to do this, so let's head over to the tech table and get this string change done.
Hollywood streets aren't paved with gold, they're paved with blood and broken souls. The dreams are lost and tears are shed. On Hollywood streets all hope is dead. Hollywood streets aren't paved with gold, they're paved with blood and broken souls. Our dreams are lost and tears are shed. On Hollywood streets all hope is dead. So many players with no mask glued on. In Hollywood, they're looking for the next turn
All right, the gold strings are on. And, you know, before I started rolling the camera, I figured it would probably be a good idea if I spent a good chunk of time, about 10-20 minutes, really playing the strings. And, man, they feel really good. I'm really surprised. Just seems like every other brand of string I play, either that's outside of my normal Ernie Ball or my favorite Gabriel Tenorio strings, they just feel like they hurt to play. But these, even with the different material, they feel really good. They don't kind of bind up on my fingers. They don't rake against my calluses. They kind of work with them. And I was surprised to see that when I opened the package, all the strings were gold. Not just the wound strings, even the plain strings. They are all golden. If you can kind of catch that on the light. Yeah, they're all gold, and I was really surprised by that. I was not anticipating that. But I gotta say, I think they sound pretty darn good. So let's check out some clean tones, and I'll just go with the pickups that I like to use for cleans. For chords, they're sounding really good. Arpeggios, they're sounding really good. And they really got a nice punch to them. I really like that. Acoustically, too. They've got kind of a nice, even brightness to them. They're not overly bright. They're not overly boomy. But I feel like they got a good punch and good, nice acoustical punch. And maybe they are really working with the magnets on the pickups. I feel like they got a really nice punch to it. Of course, we heard some gain at the top. Let's go to some lead kind of stuff. I feel like I can really tell the difference when I switch to the different pickups. They're clearer than the Ernie Ball strings. Personally, that's what I hear. would this demo be if I didn't, play a little bit of Queen licks? Even with that minor little screw up at the end there, man, that's like, maybe these strings are just a little bit more orchestral? I don't know. You play those Brian May licks and they just have that sort of beautiful orchestral quality to them. They have a ringing that is a little bit different. The timbre, his tone was always so unique, and perhaps these golden strings, they really make the difference in there. But I really like the punch to them. They feel really good under the fingers, and personally to me, I feel like they have nice projection. There's a little bit more life to them, so maybe it is that thing of gold being a little bit better of a conductor of electricity. It's just kind of, the pickups are picking up a little bit more, the vibrations may be a little stronger, or maybe that's some sort of psycho-acoustic thing that I just think. I don't know, I'm just going by what I'm hearing. Let's go ahead and listen to the direct sounds now and see how those compare to what we originally listened to. Interesting. Well, I think in order to really be able to tell if I can hear a difference between the two different direct sounds and the two different tones, I'm going to have to listen back to these tracks side by side and really be, nitpicky about it. But I gotta say, these are some pretty expensive strings. They're an investment, definitely. So hopefully they last a good long while. I doubt many strings will be able to last longer than the Gabriel Tenorio strings that I've had on my guitars for, up to 3 months before I feel like, okay, maybe it's time to think about changing strings, and then I wait another 2 months. But hey, we'll see how long these last. But I think that they sound really cool. I think they bring a different kind of tonal quality to this guitar. I'm cool with this. I'm really into it, and I'm going to be recording new tracks in the coming weeks, and I will definitely be using this guitar with these strings for those tracks. It's got its own tone, and if you're someone like me who works in a studio environment a lot, and a live environment too, but the studio environment, you kind of need to have tools. It's like a carpenter. You need a hammer does the hammer, a drill does the drill. You need a couple different sizes of screwdriver and whatnot. But hey, this is another tool. Wolfgang with the gold strings from Optima, the Brian May signatures. And I gotta say, for nines, they feel really good. They feel really solid and tight. I'm a 10 to 52 guy. These are 9 to 42, but I'm very happy with these. Good tension and not all floppy and whatnot. So I give it a stamp of approval. I think they're great strings. A little expensive though, so you might be a little apprehensive about buying a set. But hey, if these things last a long time, I will definitely let you guys know. but in an initial playthrough, I'm really enjoying the way that these sound. I'm really enjoying the way that they feel, and I'm having a grand old time with this guitar. But I want to know what you guys thought of the Brian May signature strings. Do you think they make a difference over the original strings I had on this guitar? Let me know in the comments. And hey, be sure you click the subscribe button when you see it so you don't miss the next demo that I have coming up. And until then, my friends, I'm Sean Pierce Johnson, and I wish you all great tone and happy stomping. Cheers.